Welcome back to episode 2 of season 6 of Podward State. I'm Grace Cunningham.
My name is Sam Brungo. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good.
I feel like we were here more recently than last
it was
week.
It went because we didn't have class on Monday.
Oh yeah, I guess. But it still was a week ago.
Yeah, but I think it was because we didn't have class on Monday.
Oh. Maybe.
I don't know. It does seem short.
Yeah, I
and
think we were
also
like 2 days
because
ago.
we were like tentatively. It is technically less than a
Oh.
week because we started earlier.
Oh yeah, it's been
And it was like
a week
when I walked
minus
in at
a
least.
half hour.
Yeah, when I walked in at least, like the sun was still sort of up,
Oh yeah, it was. That
which
was nice.
was weird.
Yeah.
But also, we were tentatively gonna do
Yeah,
Tuesday with
that's probably why.
some other folks, but yeah, cool episode here. We talked to former Penn State captain Brandon Bell. He reminisced a little bit on his time at Penn State, talked about what he's up to now. Awesome guy. I personally loved him. So
Yeah, it was cool.
yeah, we're gonna get into some headlines here. I'm gonna hop out and let Shannon come. We got in the studio, we got Will Pegler, we got Charlie Pegler, we got Shannon Smith, we got Connor Krause. I think, actually, I can't see him. Connor, are you here?
Yes.
We got
He's in the
Connor
corner.
Krause, we got our editor, Stutz. We got our new member, Teagan Staudenmeier. No relation to Amare because it's a different last name. But anyways, we're going to get into some headlines. After headlines, we'll go into our conversation with Brandon Bell, with Charlie and Will as well, and then we'll do some sports with Connor.
Sounds good.
Cool. Joining us now, we have Shannon Smith.
Now we're going to get into some headlines. We have Teagan here for her first real appearance. Teagan, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name's Teagan. I'm a junior, or I guess third-year student at Penn State. My major is photojournalism, and let's see.
Your favorite ice cream? What's your
Favorite ice cream? Tea-berry ice cream. That is questionable to some people.
What's
but-
tea-berry?
Okay, so a lot of people are like, oh, it's like Pepto-Bismol, which is true. But think like minty birch beer. It's really, really good and bright pink, and I love it.
Do you have a favorite creamery flavor, or do you not do dairy ice cream?
Tea-berry is very
Wow,
much
did-
dairy.
dairy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I am a milk
I thought
bitch.
it was like a
Milk girl.
oh.
Yeah, no, dairy is great.
So, do you have a favorite creamery flavor, or not really?
I like in the Halloween when they have like the Monster Mash one that's like cookies and cream with like the caramel in it. That is the best creamery flavor in my
I
opinion.
didn't have the opportunity to get that this year, but
So
next year I want that because that sounds good.
Sad. Do you want to read your headline, Teagan?
Yeah, I got it. One Penn State graduate put her determination to the test Tuesday night when she dutifully finished a news report after she was struck by a vehicle moments earlier live on TV. Reporting for WSAZ-TV in Charleston, West Virginia, 2018 Donald P. Belisario College of Communications graduate Tori Yorgay refused to give up when she was struck by an SUV at the scene of a water main break.
That video is so funny.
It's- Oh
I
my
hope
gosh.
she's doing okay.
She got
I think she's
decked.
fine.
Well,
Like, absolutely
I
decked.
want,
Yeah.
I want her to come out and be like, "Oh, I'm okay," and then I'll be like, "Okay, now it's funny," but like,
That's kind of true, but I feel like
She's
she is okay.
I mean,
You had like some car trouble recently, like you're like,
yeah, actually, no, but she
there's
looked
life
like
on
she
her
was
and
like
everything.
Well, she
gonna
got back
cry,
up.
but I'm hoping.
But
that
wait, did you hear when she said the same thing happened to me? Like
in college,
in
I wanna know
college?
where she got hit.
Yeah,
we're
same.
trying to get her on.
That's
No,
so
we're
funny.
gonna. So stick around. Tori's gonna come on. We're gonna try. We tried to
be
reach out to her
determined.
for this episode. Didn't happen. I think she's got a lot of
Things.
she's got a lot of things going on at the moment. So
BTN was once accessible to only subscribers, but now any Big Ten student can apply for a free account. The temporary subscription lasts for 5 months. In the fall, the service will determine a permanent solution that grants access for as long as you're a student at Penn State.
That's nice.
Pretty
I'm
cool.
excited about that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Because I feel like I don't really know how to use, like, where to watch the football games when it's not at home.
Yeah, I don't
Neither.
have, I don't have
This,
cable.
apparently, I can watch it on here, and it'll be free. So
I'll just be checking it on my phone. I'm like, oh, I think we had a touchdown like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Woo.
Nice. Now we have Hailey Stutz joining us. Hailey, how are you?
I'm good as always. How are you, Grace?
I'm pretty good.
So, big news. Motivational speaker and broadcast journalist John Quinones will come to Happy Valley later this month to present a 2020 vision for our world, building bridges, not walls, as part of the 27th annual Mark Lachinsky Memorial Lecture Series, which is hosted by the Schreier Honors College. The January 24th event, which is free to the public, will be held at the State Theater in downtown State College, and it will be live streamed too. John Quinones, if you're watching this, I'm a huge fan. I love the show What Would You Do?
What Would You Do is so good. I'm really excited. I want to go.
Yeah, me too. Do you want to go together?
Yeah, we actually should.
Okay.
Wait, is he actually coming to Penn State or is it virtual? Do you know?
No, it's in the
He's
State
actually going to be
Theater.
here? Oh, okay. Then we should find him afterwards, I think.
Yeah.
We should stand outside the back. That'd be so fun.
State College's Raising Cane's restaurant expects to open its doors in April 2022, the franchise said this weekend. The Louisiana-based Chicken Finger franchise is currently setting up shop at 228 East College Avenue in downtown State College. I've never had Raising
Neither
Cane's.
have I. My little brother came and visited me like a few months ago, but he didn't really want to come. Then a few weeks later, my mom texted me and she was like, "Oh, John wants to visit you again in the spring because of like some restaurant." And I was like, "Is it Raising Cane's? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's
Is
why he
that
wants to
what
come
it
visit me?"
was?
Yes.
Wait, but isn't there another chicken restaurant next to Cafe? What is that?
That's
oh,
like
Big Dean's. What is that? I've never had Big Dean's.
it used
but
to be the Qdoba. They still have the cactus thing on
Wait,
the
what
door.
is Raising Cane's? The chicken sandwiches?
I think so.
chicken. I think
It's
I
like
think
a
when-
fast food, like a chain restaurant.
Maybe when
Isn't it in the South?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
right?
Louisiana. I think when Raising Cane's opens, we should do like Raising Cane's versus Big Dean's. I feel like it would be or Slim Chickens.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is like a franchise. Well, I guess they
So
all
is
are
Raising
franchises,
Cane's.
whatever.
I don't think Big Dean's is a franchise.
All right,
Maybe
let's
it is.
talk about Elmo.
Okay.
Rockers are rock!
That was
Okay.
really good.
Talk about Elmo.
More big news. Elmo and his Sesame Street friends are coming to the Bryce Jordan Center on March 11th and 12th for Sesame Street Live.
We should get
I
Elmo on the
will be
pod.
there.
One
Yeah.
time when I was little, I feel like I've told this on the pod before, but I don't know why I would have done that. I was in the city with my family, like in Times Square, and I saw an Elmo going through a purse behind a bush.
Ooh. You gotta stay away from the characters in Times Square.
Yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
He took off his head and it was just John Quinones.
Stop.
That'd be so creepy. Or it's like nothing.
Who else is coming to the Bryce Jordan Center?
We have WWE WrestleMania. Shout out my family, huge fans of WWE, which I think is kind of fake. But that's cool. And then we have Slipknot, which is a heavy metal band, if you've never heard of them.
Nice.
Do you like Slipknot, Charlie? No. Oh, okay.
I actually would go to WrestleMania or Elmo and Sesame Street.
I would go to Sesame Street.
Once there was a Drunk Sober High Sesame Street Live. It's funny. Have you ever
Bring
read
it
it?
back.
Okay, those were our headlines. Thanks, Hailey and Teagan. Now here's our conversation with Brandon Bell.
Now we have former Penn State linebacker, captain.
Brandon Bell. Brandon, welcome to Podward State. How's it going?
What's going on? Great to be here. Appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Sounds good. So first question, we're going to start out, just talk a little bit about your recruiting. Can you tell us a little bit about what your recruiting journey to Penn State was like?
Yeah, so for me, take me back a little bit, but this was, I guess it started at Penn State 2013. I started getting recruited by Penn State. Now, mind you, this is the spring of 2013. So this is Bill O'Brien's era, recently after, the great Joe Pod passed away. I always tell people I never even had a chance to meet him. So I know I hear a lot of stories, the legend of him and all that, but never got a chance to meet him myself. I kind of got recruited by, the newer era of Penn State, Bill O'Brien, although Coach Vander Linden, who was kind of the great linebacker coach that coached a lot of the greats, was still on the staff, and he was my recruiter. So got a little taste of the old era through him, and they offered me at some point in the spring of 2013, and I committed, not too soon after. It was as soon as I visited, I fell in love with it, probably as you guys did as well, and the rest was kind of history.
Yeah, I mean, you played running back in high school. Were you just like running through dudes? Like, what was that like? That's insane.
Yeah, man, that was my first dream. I thought I'd be, make it big as a running back. My favorite player, at least in high school, was Adrian Peterson. This was like his like prime. So I thought I'd be like another AP. Didn't quite work out like that. I made a little bit more plays, a few more plays on defense, and obviously got recruited for that. Although the Purdue coach did say I could come there and play both, or I'd have a decision. I don't know if that was true or not, but didn't really give it too much consideration. Purdue was a little down, but I always wanted to be a star running back. I thought I would be.
I think it worked out all right for you.
Can you talk a bit about committing to Penn State with sanctions?
Yeah, so like I said, I committed that spring/summer. Oh no, I'm sorry. This was 2012. I'm sorry, I'm so wrong. I got offered 2012, and I committed 2012 as well. And then soon after, those sanctions came, as you speak of, and it was tough. Obviously, I remember it was all over the TV, every sports channel and everything like that. And my phone was blowing up. Everyone around me, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And I remember I took another visit up to Penn State. A lot of guys in my class, decommitted ASAP, went elsewhere. We had a lot of guys in my recruiting class that made it to the league and were pretty dang good players that left. But I sat down in Bill O'Brien's office again, both my parents, and kind of just reevaluated what I wanted to do. I didn't jump ship, ASAP. And pretty much I, as well as my family, felt as though I could accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish before the sanctions, still at this university. And my dad was a big advocate of just saying, he had an inkling that everything would work out fine, and then lo and behold, the sanctions got dropped 2 years later. But I think I was able to accomplish exactly what I wanted to, with sanctions or without.
So you brought it up. You committed to Bill O'Brien. You played 1 year for Bill O'Brien, your true freshman year in 2013. He was always, such a big character, the bunch of fighters thing after the Wisconsin game, stuff like that. What was it like playing for him? And then what do you remember from, that your first offseason in Penn State, from him leaving and kind of the job search and ending up with James Franklin? What was all that like?
Yeah, so I guess I started playing with under Billy O was great. It was fun. The character you guys seen, through the media was kind of who he was. Not a character, I should say, but he was a fighter. He fought for his guys, always had our back type of deal. And he was an NFL coach, league type of coach. I came to learn. He was all about business and just making sure guys took care of their business. And obviously a genius, X's and O's wise. Had the offense, Christian Hackenberg, some of my guys, balling then. And so it was tough when he left. But at the same time, at least for myself, I can speak, I understood it. My dad didn't quite feel the same way. He was a little, he felt some type of way because that same meeting we had last summer, he kind of made some promises maybe, but I didn't quite mind. I understood he had to make a decision for his family and move up to the big leagues, where what I knew he was accustomed to. But I remember he called me New Year's Day, creeping up to New Year's Eve and saying he was going to leave, and he called a few guys then. And, I just, sent them my love and best wishes. And going into that, that fall break with no coach, me and my friends roommates are trying to find out what's going on. A lot of names being thrown out there. And we joke about this often, but that first silly week was kind of fun. We were just normal students, no football really program. It was the first time we really experienced that. But as the coaching search came on, James Franklin obviously got the job, Coach Franklin, and I was all for it. There was a few coaches I wasn't sure about that if they came, I maybe could have left Penn State. I don't know, but happy Coach Franklin came, and obviously we had great history then, and he built the program and continued to build it, and it was a good choice.
We've had some several players on that have played for both O'Brien and Franklin, and they're very different with their style of coaching. And some people don't feel that one was better than the other. Some people like one much more. Can you talk a little bit about not necessarily which one you like more, but just the differences between them as a coach and what the locker room and what that program was like with those guys running the ship?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're definitely just different. And I can speak now better than I could before as I'm older, more mature and see things a little differently. But as I said, Bill O'Brien, you got to remember he's coming from the Patriots. He's coming from the NFL, which is like it's a business. It's a business. You guys probably hear that all the time, and that's exactly what it is. So he kind of treated us as such, obviously different because we're not there yet, but he understood what a lot of the guys wanted to do was make it to the league, and he understood that he knew how to run that type of program, and he somewhat ran it that way. Now, as I come to learn with college, you got to deal with a lot more than just winning games and, and things of that nature. So I'm not sure how that played in his favor or not, but I know he wanted to get back to the NFL, which he did. And as far as Coach Franklin, he was coming from a college program and had been in college majority of his career. Had kind of just rebuilt Vanderbilt at the time. So he understood what it meant to come into a college team, take care of, look after 120, 18 to 22-year-olds, which is a totally different task, as well as, we got to win games. So I think he kind of, that's where the differences for me, I would say, came from. And like you said, there's no better or worse. They're just two different guys, as every coach is different, two different pedigrees, and one's younger, one's older. There's so many different differences that make a difference when coaching a team.
Yeah, so I know you came to Penn State and you're number 26, but what was it like to wear number 11? Like, how did that happen? And then I guess your connection to LeVar Arrington, NaVorro Bowman, and Micah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are aware. I'm sure you guys are a little bit younger than me, but as you said, I came in 26, and 11 was always my favorite number. I wanted to wear it in high school. I never had the chance, and just stuck with 26. And that it was during the bowl game in New York. I had asked if I could switch, and they said, we'll talk about it. And lo and behold, I was able to, and I kind of didn't behold the legend that came with it. So I wasn't quite ready for that. I just wanted to wear number 11. But then, I kind of got barked at by LeVar on Twitter and a few of the fans. I'm sure you guys can probably find that. So my introduction to LeVar was a little different than, let's say, some other guys. But we have a good relationship now. He's a big bro or whatever you want to call it. And I knew regardless of what number I was going to wear, I was going to ball out. That's what you come to Penn State to do. So I'm glad I was able to do that and live up to it a little bit at least. And as far as Micah, obviously he balled out times 11, if you want to say. And I have a relationship with him as well. I remember him coming up on recruiting trips. When you got a guy like that in the state, the coaches let you know, hey, we need this guy to come here, treat him right and everything like that. So it's good to see him, continuing to wear number 11 in the league. Obviously now with new rules, it's pretty dope. And ball out, shoot.
So that's funny you say that about LeVar though. We were in Iowa for obviously Penn State ended up losing this fall, but we saw him like roaming the sidelines, like it looked like he was about to play in the game. The way he was like yelling at guys and stuff, he's intense, man.
Yeah, very intense guy. Obviously big dude. Still working out in shape. I believe he's coaching and he's on the radio and everything, but he loves it. Football is definitely in his blood.
You kind of had the LeVar leap of your own, right? In like Big Ten championship, right? Penn State didn't fall on it. That's pretty sick. I don't know.
Yeah, somewhat. That game was crazy. Just you're out there, you're just balling, man. You got that number on your back. You feel good. You look good, and you play good.
So when you were playing, did you have a player that people compared you to? Because I always thought of you as kind of just like a just like a reliable linebacker similar to Kabinda, someone like on this season, Ellis Brooks, something like that. Did you get compared to Penn State players from the past, or what's something that you got a lot?
I don't think so, really. Not that I could recall. I'm not sure what other people had in their heads, but as far as I can say for my teammates, I think guys relied on me to make plays and big moments, and just kind of make some B-bell plays that some guys would call it. Guys like Jason, we relied on each other, and some Jersey cats, linebacker U. So we're all hard nosed and tough and gonna get out there and do what needs to be done to win, man. I think that's probably the most thing I can remember.
What was it like to be named captain?
Oh, that's a great question. That was awesome, honestly. It happened naturally, and I think maybe it might not have hit me until later, maybe as the season's going on. But to be named captain of Penn State was a pretty big deal. And I'll hold that with me forever. And obviously going into that season, being named captain is a lot on my shoulders to keep the shit moving, and as well as the other guys. And I think that whole squad of my senior year, my captain year, was just we had a lot of great leadership. Can't take it all for myself. But definitely that's a big deal in my heart, and I hold that with me.
So you just mentioned it, obviously, your last year, 2016, was an awesome year. So much fun. No doubt. But I had a couple questions about it. Obviously the Ohio State game, the Big Ten championship, but kind of before all that, there were so many injuries at linebacker. I think you even ended up missing like 4 games. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Yep.
What was all that like? Just seeing guys like step up and kind of hold the room together.
It was awesome. That's what makes the season so great. It was literally good for TV, good story, because there was so many ups and downs, roller coaster every year. As you said, the linebacker room was tarnished. I mean, I remember the Michigan game where we got kind of pummeled and the season wasn't looking too bright. I was at State College, and I forget the Mexican restaurant that's closing down, but
Mad Mex.
What's it called?
Sorry, man. Mad Mex.
Mad Mex. Yeah,
Shout
I
out.
was in Mad Mex.
Rest in peace, Mad Mex.
So hurt. It was better for me to just stay home. And I remember I was pissed off in there. I was making a little bit of a fuss because who was it? B. Smith got ejected. Then Jan got hurt. We were literally down to, 3 linebackers at the time. So that season, Jason was out. And then the comeback and obviously going on a winning streak made the season so great. And I guess what held us together, like you say, were the guys stepping up, was that leadership I spoke of from the other older players and young players as well, Saquon, Trace. It was just awesome to see, man. Everybody really came together.
So yeah, kind of obviously with the 2-2 start, all the injuries and stuff, how much sweeter did that make the Ohio State win? Obviously, that was a crazy night, and then the rest of the wins that came with it, including the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. Shoot, that was the one time I got them in my career, and I know it had been a while, so we were due for one. We were definitely due, and guys just came together. We had the stars, we had the playmakers, we had the toughness. Obviously, they did too, so it was a slugfest, and I'm just glad we were able to pull it out. I remember Jason called it. We were at Nittanyville. He put it out there, national TV or national news. We're gonna beat them, and everybody rallied together and had that confidence to go and do it.
You go to Mad Max that night or no?
No, I didn't make it home till so late because that game took so long, so much traffic, and I was completely depleted. I had zero energy, effort. I was dead, man.
Gotcha.
So moving off that. After the Big Ten championship, you get that Rose Bowl bid, even though we probably should have been in the playoff. But the Rose Bowl,
you said it, not me.
The Rose Bowl is one of those big games, and for Penn State, that was such an important moment. Like that was like, oh, Penn State's back after they won the Big Ten championship. It was more than just any other Rose Bowl game, even though we didn't get that. So can you just talk a little bit about the Rose Bowl, that interception you had, and then the injury and how that all played out?
Yeah, like you said, I think everyone felt very confident in Penn State. Just the program itself. that's kind of one of the things I'm proud of. My class and my kind of few classes I've finished with, I feel like we made it. I don't want to say we brought it back because it didn't fall off, at least not really, but it was cool to go to Penn State. Recruits are flying in. We're flashy. You got the Marcus shirt on right there. He's a big part of that. You look good, feel good, play good. It's good TV. Obviously Saquon and all the fireworks. So that's pretty cool to me. We went undefeated at home that year to finish that off, going into Rose Bowl. That's a big deal to me. And then to cap it off in LA, Pasadena, granddaddy of them all, going against USC. It was just the perfect kind of matchup. I obviously wish we could have finished that out. That was a tough one, but and obviously I got hurt that game. That was my last play of college football. Ended on the 2-yard line after an interception. Sam Darnold got me. I dislocated my elbow pretty bad, so I wasn't able to come back in, but that was a tough one to watch from the sidelines as my brothers out there fighting and battling. It was an amazing game, though. Every time I catch it on TV, I got to watch it because the fireworks, Godwin, Saquon, Juju Smith, all the guys they had. It was a crazy game. It was definitely ESPN classic.
So for you guys in that locker room, was it just like another game for you guys, or did you realize like the magnitude of what that game meant for Penn State? Or were you guys treating it just like another game?
No, it definitely wasn't just any other game. Like I said, it was the granddaddy of them all. A lot of players have never been out there, so I think we were pretty loose. We weren't tense. We were confident that year, the same way we've been throughout that winning streak. We had a bunch of confident guys, some ballers, some dogs. So we were just loose, ready to go out and show out in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. And, beautiful weather, can't beat it. So we were just excited.
Do you have a favorite moment from your Penn State career?
Favorite moment? I don't think there's one, game or any moment, but I think the thing that sits with me the most is, I think I just mentioned it, is finishing that Michigan State game off before the Rose Bowl to end the regular season, going undefeated at home, capping off the win streak, at least for the regular season, and like we said, going through everything we went through that year, being a captain, and going to the Big Ten championship, that kind of whole time period, obviously winning the Big Ten championship, capping it off, I think that is the best moment. So somewhere between end of Michigan State and obviously ending it and being on the big stage in Indy, that was the best moment.
So moving on from your Penn State career, you got signed with the Bengals, and then after that the Panthers. So what was that like, just being in the NFL in that locker room?
Man, it was a dream come true. I mean, that's what we do it for. At least that's what I did it for. To play in the big leagues and have an opportunity to play. That's what we dreamed of. Like I said, I thought I'd be Adrian Peterson, running back in the NFL, but on the other side of the ball. So having that opportunity was encapsulating of everything I've played football for, to be honest. And it was awesome. Grateful for it. I was grateful every single day, just being able to practice and play, touching the field, running downfield, kickoff, linebacker, whatever it was. Just grateful for the opportunity. And obviously it didn't end the way I would like it to, but that's the game. Like I said, it's a business. It keeps moving. So just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, that Bengals team you were on had some characters on it. Burst Fix, Pac-Man Jones. Got any fun stories about those guys?
Yeah, definitely some great guys. I don't probably not any PG stories for podcasts, but definitely some characters over there. But at the end of the day, everyone was good guys. The media might write what they want to write, but guys were good guys and just played football tough. And I'm still rooting for the Bengals now. Hopefully they can get a dub.
And then, following that, I think you had that quick stint with the Seattle Dragons and the XFL. What was that like? If you want to talk about that a little bit, just hit on that quickly.
Yeah, that was different for me. Obviously, the XFL was a new league. I think I might have been accustomed to, top shelf football, especially being at Penn State. To go into the league, you're not quite used to the grind, I guess, of some of the things you have to do with the new league, no facilities and things of that nature. But obviously it didn't end or last too long. COVID, that's when everything hit. But still a grateful opportunity. And I was still, looking to play ball, get back to the league. So that's a part of the game.
So you mentioned right there trying to get back in the league. What are you up to now? Any projects you're working on? What's next for Brandon Bell?
So right now I'm working at NFL Films, and I'm following this journey into production. I studied it there at Penn State. I wish I would have done some of the things you guys are doing now back then. Really, fell into it a little bit more, but getting into it now. TV production, editing, directing, producing. That's the path I think I'm gonna follow now. So just trying to walk through any doors that open up.
I was gonna ask you a question. You got the Hard Knocks thing on your wall back there. It's like my dream job last season. One of our friends was on the show. He helped out with Hard Knocks. He's working on NFL Films right now too. So, is it fun?
Yeah,
That's
well,
like
I haven't
my
worked
dream
on
job,
Hard
working
Knocks,
Hard Knocks.
but that is a goal. I could say it's. I haven't been on shoot. I haven't left. But I've been here in Mount Laurel working at NFL Films, but being a part of the organization that deals with it is pretty cool. We were all rooting for the Colts this past preseason. Hopefully the show could have kept going, but it's football, so it's pretty tough. But it's cool, seeing football from the opposite end for me. Playing it and then try to tell the story of it is pretty interesting and pretty dope to me. So we'll see how that goes on my end.
Were you guys happy with the reception that you got from the in-season Colts? Because I thought it was pretty cool. That was the first time they ever did anything like that, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll definitely probably keep happening. We'll see, what the networks and how all that works out. But it was pretty cool. I think people were really, delve into it, felt for them. And just like, Hard Knocks in the preseason, obviously you get to see the grind to get to it. But giving, the fans a little bit more insight of in season, and especially now with COVID and everything, kind of dealing with that. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so our guests have been picking their intro and outro songs. So you got a song in mind for us?
Oh, shoot. You should have emailed me that one.
You can send it to us later if you want. We'll get it.
I'll give you one now just for being on. Whatever's first on my thing. What are you guys listening to?
Hey man, whatever you're listening to.
You did tweet the other day, though, I do everything better with music. So we're expecting a good one from you.
All right, what I'm listening to right now, I was in the gym earlier. It was getting me going. I'll go with, what's it called? Oh, Thought I Was Playing. Gunna, 21 Savage.
Love it.
Let it rock out. It's good highlight tape, football music, gets you going.
Yep.
Sounds good.
What's your favorite? What's your go-to song to put on?
Honestly, I'm always kind of diving into music. So much new music going in. My phone is fully stacked with music from old to new. It's kind of hard. That's why it's hard for me to pick. I just made it easy for myself, but I'm kind of a little bit of a music junkie, not the biggest.
Cool.
Do you have any words of wisdom for college students?
Words of wisdom for college students. I'll say, get out there and do as much as you can, different things. Because that's kind of one thing like I said, I wish I would have, started a podcast or been on a podcast back then or anything like that. Anything you got an interest in, push yourself to go out there and do it. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. At least you tried it, So that's the one thing. Just get some experiences in there while you're there.
Hey, anytime you want to hop on and talk to us, you're always welcome. Appreciate you coming on, chatting with us. It was fun watching you at Penn State, and we're looking forward to seeing all the cool things that you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks very much to Brandon Bell for stopping by. Really fun conversation. Really, really cool dude. So thank you, Brandon. I'm looking right at the camera right now. Thank you.
We love you, man. You're the best.
I can like see the cameras flip, so I can see myself. So I'm just gonna.
Oh wow,
this is weird.
run with it.
Man, Brandon. But yeah, no, very cool conversation, very fun. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Of Brandon Bell?
Yeah.
I think he's a Penn State legend.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He helped bring the team back to where it should be post sanctions. Good thing he stayed. I think he's a legend.
Yeah, I have no problem putting him up there with LeVar Arrington and
I know. I thought
Micah and Navarro Bowman.
Yeah, Navarro Bowman. But
maybe not the same NFL success, but at Penn State he was.
Well, there was such a span where the linebackers, there just weren't a lot of great linebackers. It was like Maudie, and then there was a little bit of a lull, and then Brandon Bell came in and was great.
I thought it was interesting how he said, he asked for 11, and then he kind of put the pressure on it, and like maybe didn't necessarily live up to expectations right away, but he was steady, man. I mean, he was awesome in that whiteout win over Ohio State, right? Then he played in that, but then he missed.
He did. So that was he and Kabinda both came back because Kabinda had the cast.
Yeah. Right.
And
yeah.
I remember because I watched that game from home, seeing that them in like the pregame where they do that like Nissan pregame rush. They were like both back and they were getting hype. I was like, we're not messing around this game.
He had 15 tackles in the Big Ten championship and a forced fumble.
Yeah.
Kind of a dog.
So
I mean, if he doesn't get hurt in the Rose Bowl, that could be a different game.
I think
in the fourth quarter.
I cried at that play.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously he had that huge senior season. Had the big performance in the Ohio State game. Speaking of Ohio State, Penn State played Ohio State in basketball this past weekend. Didn't go as well. Lost by 5 points, but it was kind of not like a fake 5 points, but it didn't feel that close. You know what I mean? They kind of came back at the end, but
it just felt like Ohio State was always in control.
Right.
Like Penn State would be down 11, and then Greg Lee would hit a 3, and then Sessoms would hit a layup, and then they'd be all of a sudden down 5.
Right.
But they were just never really in striking distance.
Right. Yeah,
but the thing about this team is, compared to other Penn State basketball teams that we've covered in the past, they're not getting blown out, which is awesome.
That's huge.
Like losing to 7 against Purdue, losing to 5 against Ohio State. That's 2 games they probably could have won. So
Purdue's like a Final Four. Purdue's sick. They're
top 5 team.
So,
Indiana tonight,
actually. That's awesome. I mean, no, Shrewsbury, who I like his attitude, like no moral victories. But if you want to talk about any kind of moral victory, that's definitely one. Playing Purdue tight,
definitely
61 points. That's good defense. Like, this is a great defensive team. Held Ohio State to 61.
Yeah, I mean the defense is awesome.
Held Rutgers to 49.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was fun.
And then I guess the other thing to hit on with that Ohio State game is Seth Lundy didn't play. He didn't even travel. Shrewsbury said he was day to day, and I don't know if he confirmed whether or not it was illness. But I think we kind of assumed that. Because, like, who else was that with?
I don't think it's COVID because I think they would have said COVID.
He said he was day to day, and that would be a COVID thing. Yeah.
So it's a big loss. That's 15 points a game right there. You're losing.
Right.
So if he comes back against Iowa Saturday, they'll probably have a chance. But on the road, that's always a tough place to play, regardless of what sport. So we'll see
that's gonna be.
I think the other they would have played Minnesota Wednesday, but that got canceled because of COVID on Minnesota's end.
Yep.
I think that would have been kind of a nice bounce back game. Minnesota's like 1-5 in the conference. They play teams close, but I think that's a winnable game for Penn State. And Penn State had entering that Ohio State game, they had won 3 of their last 4 to open 2022 in the Big Ten. And Shrewsbury kind of mentioned how he felt like they were getting a little too comfortable. So maybe that Ohio State game will serve as a positive, and kind of the kick in the butt they needed. So I'm excited for the Iowa game. Iowa's 13-5. They're a good team. They had Keegan Murray,
leading scorer in the Big Ten.
He's the man.
Yeah, so that's the thing. If they want to beat Iowa, they need Lundy back to play on Keegan Murray because they play the same position, and Lundy will probably guard him like he's guarded the best players all season. So if he comes back, I think they have a chance.
I'm personally a little worried about Iowa, boys. I bet against Iowa a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost a lot of money.
They're steady, man.
Keegan Murray and Kenneth, I think, is his brother. And then the McCaffrey boys just bang
kid,
threes.
right?
Yeah, Connor
They're
McCaffrey.
brothers
Yeah.
now. There's 2 of them.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, that McCaffrey guy's been in Iowa for so long. And
Well, they always have shooters. They're kind of like Wisconsin, like that.
Yeah.
Fran McCaffrey from Philly, by the way. So what the hell?
Yeah, no, I
Fran?
think Pat
What's
Chambers
up?
was kind of friends with him.
He went
Yeah.
to
Friend of the
LaSalle.
show. Yeah. So, you got a score prediction, or maybe not an exact score either. How much does Penn State win or lose by?
I think if we can somehow hold their offense, I think we could win the game. Like, if we can shut down their offense a little bit. But I think if not, Iowa could put up like 90 on us, and we could score like 60.
Yeah.
I think we might lose by like 10.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think this is a game Penn State wins just because they've been good out of breaks so far this season.
I'm in.
So I'm going to say 65-58.
Oh,
I'm going to say they hit some free throws late,
I like that,
play
yeah.
good defense again. So
I think, playing on the road, I think Iowa's going to know they have that sort of advantage. But there's not a lot of long-time Penn State guys on this team. There's a lot of long-time college basketball guys on this team. And that kind of experience, I think, will play a difference. Even though they're on the road Saturday afternoon, there's going to be a lot of students there at the Iowa, I forget what their basketball arena, or Carver Hawkeye arena, which is a fun arena. But still, I think Iowa comes into it a little confident because they have that home game atmosphere, and Penn State comes in with a chip on its shoulder. I think Jalen Pickett, who's hit a couple shot clock buzzer beaters, he hasn't hit a buzzer beater yet. I think he hits a 3 to break the tie, and I think Penn State wins
by like 4 or 5,
65-62.
Actually, can I change? So I just remembered the Iowa Penn State football game. I hate Iowa. We're gonna win. I just remembered. This is revenge.
Okay, got our Iowa predictions in. I think we all think it'll be a pretty close game. Excited for that one on Saturday.
Very excited.
Other big sports going on this weekend. We'll touch on men's hockey real quick. Pretty big series against a historically good Wisconsin team, but they're 8-13 and 3 on the year. Just 5 wins in the Big Ten, with 1 tie and 8 losses, 5th in the conference. So Penn State's coming off of a couple of brutal series, 3-11 record in Big Ten play. But I feel like this is going to be a pretty evenly matched series. I'm pretty excited about it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it should be fun. I think obviously Saturday is the wear white game for the Roar Zone, so that's always fun. That's always a great atmosphere. Probably second to Beaver Stadium.
I actually didn't realize that.
I
should go.
Yeah, definitely go if you can. Yeah, but Penn State they've lost four in a row, but they've been solid. Obviously, Michigan's looking like an NHL team with all that talent they have.
Yeah.
Owen Powers,
No,
crazy.
they're insane.
Their whole first line are going to be draft picks.
Yeah,
right?
they're all
Aren't
going to
they
be
all
top 10.
first rounders? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Wisconsin was 2 years ago with Caulfield.
Yeah, you're right. So they lost by 2 goals in each game, so 1 goal each. So pretty solid against them. Then they lost to Notre Dame.
Yep.
Kind of a heartbreaker in OT. It was on a line change, so
Yeah, that was tough.
tough goal there to lose.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Charlie?
I think they still have a real shot at a good season, which maybe even a Frozen Four run. But I think it starts with a sweep against Wisconsin. Why are you laughing?
That's a big prediction. I mean, I'm not against it.
I like the confidence.
I don't see him going to the final Frozen Four, but maybe.
I mean, I think 3-11 in the Big Ten is kind of tough.
Yeah, well, just to be honest, I'm not the biggest college hockey guy, so I don't know what their tournament is called. A good run in their tournament.
The NCAA hockey
All right,
tournament, and then
but
the Final Four
their
is
version of
Frozen
March
Four.
Madness, maybe a Sweet 16.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
But it starts with sweeping Wisconsin this
Yeah.
weekend. We need
I mean,
both
I think
of those.
The Pagula is awesome. I haven't been to a game in a while. I should. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Shout out Frankie Marzano. He helps lead the coverage on that one.
Frank
does a good job. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun series. I mean, Wisconsin's even though they're 8-13, it's still Wisconsin in hockey. You know what I mean?
They're kind of like they are in football. Even when they're not that good, you can't just be like.
Yeah,
oh,
it's gonna be 8 degrees or something here. You gotta
that's awesome.
cool.
Get out
I
to the
like that.
peg.
I
Pack
like
the
that.
peg.
Yep. Pack the peg.
Our Charlie and I's mom, Ryan Pegler, she texted both of us to be safe this weekend and don't end up in a snowbank.
Don't fall
Just
asleep
get
in
an
a
Uber.
snowbank. Take
So
care of your
I
friends.
will make that a PSA to everyone this weekend.
Yeah, take
Don't-
care of your
don't fall
friends.
asleep in a snowbank
Hey,
because
just like Joe Hayden
it's gonna
said.
be really cold.
Yeah, Joe Hayden, you see that? That
Joe
was
Hayden
awesome.
with the PSA.
He was like, it's the off season for a lot of you. Don't drive.
Okay, so good luck to Penn State this weekend against Wisconsin. I think that'll be a fun series, and we'll keep it moving with other sports action. We'll move to the Lady Lions, who are still battling in the Big Ten, coming off a nice 20-point win or 18-point win over Illinois, which was exciting Sunday over at the BJC. The night we recorded. Last week, they were
Thursday,
looking
yeah.
for an upset over Michigan on Thursday. That did not come to fruition. But
No.
they were number 11 when they played them, so that's an awesome team. But this offense is awesome. I mentioned her last week, but McKenna Marissa and I'll pull up the box score right now. She's sick.
Yeah, McKenna's
Anna
dope.
Camden. They put up 90 points against Illinois.
Yeah, they can
So,
score.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bucket.
if they can defend, it kind of remains to be seen. But I don't know. The Big Ten's tough. They're always pretty tough in women's basketball. So Penn State, I mean, obviously they're a pretty historical powerhouse, but they're still coming back. So we'll see. 2 big ones coming up. Wisconsin this weekend too. So we got the beat Wisconsin week here.
They
and
are.
then
Yep. I'm sorry, man.
go ahead.
I was saying they're playing Northwestern right now, so we'll know the outcome of that one. Northwestern over in Evanston, over in Illinois, and then they still are. Yeah, like you said, they're in Madison, so kind of a Midwest road trip here for Carolyn Keeger's team. And then they play Iowa as well, coming back on Tuesday night over at the BJC.
Yeah. Gotta kind of like hockey. You gotta win in the conference. Gotta start winning some of those games.
And they're
and,
8-7. And
No, I know.
They have good wins. I mean, so we'll see.
6-1 at home is a great sign.
Yeah, I think both both the men's and women's coaches, Keeger and Shrewsbury, are
Love
like
Keeger. She's
they're super similar. I think. Like I think by the time Charlie graduates, at least Penn State will make the tournament in both sports.
Really?
Ooh.
Basketball.
That's probably
both
a crazier
basketball
prediction than the Frozen Four.
Teams. You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
maybe
mean,
not with
they're
Shrewsbury,
both
man.
trending up.
I mean, like the Big Ten's legit. If you can, especially in both, they're both. I mean, the Big Ten's probably the best conference in
Hockey
right
too,
now, I
yeah.
think. And even hockey, true. But I think Shrewsbury's got the right mindset. I think Keeger has the right mindset. She seems pretty intense in the games I've been to. So
Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing that Penn State's one of 11 schools to have a top 25 class in basketball and football.
Oh yeah,
that stat kind of came out today.
That's
so
very cool.
I mean, on the rise. We'll see if it
I have it.
comes out on the field. But
I have a question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if the college football it's going to change, so we're never going to see it, but if it were always just 4 teams, are we making the Final Four in hoops or the playoff first?
Wait, so you're saying
Say
March Madness
it doesn't
is 4
expand.
teams?
No, March Madness stays the same. Say college football playoff doesn't expand, which is inevitable. But say it's both 4 teams, Final Four. Will Penn State make it in football first or basketball first?
Make the college basketball Final Four.
Yeah, I think they would before football.
no,
Charlie.
Well, James
come on.
Franklin's here 10 years. We're not going to do it with that guy. Bum.
I mean they were 5th with Brandon Bell.
disagree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they nearly made it in 2016. I
I
disagree.
know.
They're one. If you really think about it, if we really do want to talk about football,
No, I don't really.
No,
yeah.
we but it can be as easy, not as easy, but like that was just a ton of really good recruits that just like worked out.
Yeah.
So like that could happen right now. We have Drew Aller on campus.
Shout out
Nick
Drew.
Singleton just won the offensive high school player.
And
of
the funny
year.
thing
That's
about
crazy.
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
like going off of what Will said, you never know too. Like a lot of those guys were 3 stars.
Brandon
Saquon
was a
3-star.
Brandon was a
Brand-
2-star.
Saquon was a 4-star,
Still though.
but Trace was a 3-star.
Brandon was a
3-star.
according to
Right.
24/7.
Cabinda was a 3-star.
No, you're right.
Marcus Allen, I don't even know what he was.
He was
I
a
don't think
4.
that- But even still, you know what I mean?
But
They
like,
weren't,
yeah, you don't know
legit,
who's going to pan
like,
out.
prospects.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
shout out to Noah Kane. I know we talked about that last week. Good luck with your family.
did we-
Good luck with
yeah.
your family at LSU.
Oh, your family
And also,
down at LSU with Brian Kelly.
Drew
Did we not
Aller.
talk about that last week?
He wasn't at LSU yet.
Oh,
So congrats to him. I mean, that's cool. I'm sure he'll be great with Brian Kelly.
okay, yeah. I think you guys got any other thoughts? Oh, geez, sorry. I do want to talk about one more thing. Wrestling.
Oh, we're sick.
Wrestling. Well, obviously they took down Rutgers this past weekend. That's my bad for forgetting to hit on that. Sorry, Kale. And then they are at Michigan State this weekend, which I think they're just gonna beat everybody besides Iowa. They killed Arizona State. They handily beat Rutgers. Rutgers has like 5 top 10 wrestlers.
I
Correct
don't
me if
even
I'm
know that.
wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
Yeah, I
Something
think
like
they
that.
do.
So yeah, good luck to wrestling this weekend. I mean, it's all leading up to obviously Big Tens and then the national championship, and I think they just win. That's really all.
I mean,
all
this
we
is
can
what
say.
it's like to be an Alabama football fan. Like, this is awesome to just know they're gonna win.
You should go to a duel. It's
I
fun.
know.
It's really fun.
Mom
And
Dad
you know
are
what?
coming
It's kind of sad, like saying that because a lot of Alabama fans take football for granted. Like the
I know,
students don't
right?
go to the games.
It's a good point.
I feel like it's a lot of the same way here with wrestling.
Yeah.
Like the students. I mean, obviously there's loyal fans and Rec Hall's small, but like the majority of the student body doesn't go out in droves to Rec Hall for the games.
No, it's a good point.
Which
Connor.
I say, I definitely
The
recommend you
matches.
should. Sunday night was so nice. Like as the snow was falling, it was kind of slow at
It's a
first.
beautiful
and
night.
then I walked back out of Rec Hall, and it was like a lovely little walk.
That's a Big Ten night right
Yeah.
there.
Did you guys go sledding on Sunday?
I played
Oh,
snow
sledding.
football.
Really? So
Oh.
did I.
Good time.
I got yelled at by a cop. It was crazy.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
I was in one of the like move-in carts,
Oh yeah.
and the cops like shut it down. But I was like going down Shortledge, like outside of South.
Good sports talk, guys. If we
Yeah.
don't, we hit on wrestling.
Yeah, we're good.
Glad we did. Thank you to Brandon Bell for coming on.
Love you, Brandon.
We'll let Sam and Grace close things out for us. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Will. Love you,
Yep.
Connor.
That was another episode of Podward State. We talked to former Penn State football captain Brandon Bell. What'd you think, Sam?
It was an awesome conversation. Got some cool behind the scenes stories from that season, and yeah, it's been fun. Looking forward to the rest of the guests that we can get on.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we have news from our friend that got hit by the car. She said, "Wow, I am flattered by all the kindness and well wishes. I am feeling fine, just a little sore. Thank you all so much." So, for what it's
Not
worth,
to
guys,
us.
she didn't say that to us. She said
She
that
tweeted
to she said it via Twitter to the Twitterverse. So she's doing well for you, whoever was talking during that.
Maybe future friend of the show.
Yeah, we reached out to her on
Many ways.
many
She's
different
definitely
ways.
like, what the hell is this?
She's busy. Sounds like she just got back on her phone.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
She was, her phone was probably blowing up. I was on like NBC and
She's popular.
Yeah, it was on the news and stuff. So, hopefully we'll get to hear that story from her at some point as a Penn State grad. Also, today is National Penguin Awareness Day.
That's nice.
And the Penguins are playing tonight.
Wait, what's penguin
Ottawa.
Awareness?
Just like being aware of penguins.
Is there a different like penguin day?
I don't know.
Like what's wrong with penguins?
No, not the penguins. Like
why would penguins need awareness? Couldn't it just be Penguin Day? That's like for a disease.
I think they're like in danger, dude. Like their homes are melting. Have you heard of climate change, Grace?
No, explain it to me.
So it's basically like the planet sits at this certain degrees, and if it goes up like 2 degrees Celsius, like the
are you actually explaining it to me right now?
The temperature of the planet,
I was kidding.
like the planet dies.
I was kidding.
Well, the planet I don't think dies, but we die.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, I don't know. Penguin Awareness
Just for the record,
Day.
I know what global warming is. I think you should go Google it.
What most people don't realize is penguin numbers around the world are dwindling. I'm saying this through Pegs, who's reading it.
Every year,
the penguin population shrinks at an alarming rate. Most of the world doesn't realize this because they don't see real penguins in their natural habitat. That's why Penguin Awareness Day is such a good opportunity to learn more and more about penguins and understand the situation. It could lead to an appreciation for penguins and convince you to donate to help ensure that they continue living on our planet for another 65 years.
What does the money do?
The money goes probably to make T-shirts so that you can
donate more money.
Yeah, it's probably
they get.
I'll tell you where the money's not going is to
they get
stop global
snow making
warming.
machines.
And then they
like,
just blow
yeah,
snow.
And then the penguins are
in
happy.
Like places like
it's
like,
awesome.
Yeah.
They buy slushies for the penguins.
Yeah.
And then they drink them. And then they're cold.
And then they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Anyways, shout out them penguins. Go donate some blood. Save a life. Get vaccinated. If you're able, get flu shot. I want to have Baron on. Do you think we could do that?
I feel like maybe.
Donate some blood and stick around.
Yeah.
For the rest of our season.
Our days.
Yeah, the rest of our days.
Your days are dwindling.
My
like
days
the penguins.
Like the penguins. But if you donate money to Podward State, maybe I'll stay.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll stay for another 65
maybe.
years.
Maybe. You guys should donate money to Podward State. Whoever you guys are.
Podward State is now on TikTok. Follow it at Podward State. We'll have some funny videos up.
Anyways, from Willard Building, leaving a little bit early because we started early.
What time is it? Is it? Oh, before 7.
Before 7?
Never happened ever.
Not from the studio, I don't think.
This is.
I remember one time we left before 8 and we were like, woo!
Oh, yeah. But it's still going to be dark outside, which is sad.
Someday, it won't be, though.
Yeah. One day we'll walk out and we'll come back around the other side, you know?
Yeah, and we'll be like, let's go get ice cream.
Yeah, it'll be warm.
Let's go to the creamery. Let's go to the bar.
Yeah.
Not you, though.
I won't say that. Sad.
Anyways, take it easy, guys. From Willard, my name is Sam Brungo.
Grace Cunningham.
Take it easy, guys. Be safe.
See ya.
SF90 cost a M. Dunk this Glock like Ye did Kim. Sipping on pimp juice, watch my brim. How you a shooter, you ain't even hit the rim. Summertime killing in Air Force Ones. When you get the winter, I'm stepping in Tim's. I caught a Draco Floyd, give him an uppercut. We hit that boy in the chin. 8 figure, I'ma drop out. 21. AK heavy metal rock out. 21. I'm in your hood, what you talking about? 21. Beat on my chest with my gun out. I put a house on your head. My money longer won't run out. VVS diamonds the sun out. 21. We just count money for fun now. It's been hell chopper bullets. It's an AK in my hand. These boys a bunch of. They no different than a trend. I bought the block out on the land, split it with my twins.